Hey there, kiddos! Gather around because I've got a wild story to share with you today. It's a tale that's both spooky and whimsical, and it all began on one eerie Halloween night in the small town of Enon, Ohio. Picture this. The streets were lined with glowing jack-o'-lanterns and the air was filled with the scent of autumn leaves and sweet treats. Kids in costumes roamed the neighborhood, their laughter echoing through the night. It was the perfect setting for something extraordinary to happen. And that's when I met Charles. Now Charles wasn't your typical friend. He was short, a bit plump, and dressed all in orange and black. But here's the kicker. Charles was a leprechaun. Yes, you heard that right, a leprechaun who only came out on Halloween. I remember spotting him near my house, and he looked so kind with that twinkle in his eye and shiny gold buckles on his shoes. I was intrigued and a bit skeptical, but I decided to approach him. "Hello there," I said, trying to sound casual. "I just made some fresh candy apples. Would you like to give one a try?" Charles, the little guy, nodded eagerly. "I'd be delighted," he replied with a grin. So I invited him in. He followed me into the kitchen and then, get this, he ate the whole candy apple in one monstrous bite, stem and all. I was absolutely flabbergasted. "Wow," I exclaimed, "I've never seen that before." Charles grinned mischievously. "I bet you haven't. I'm a leprechaun, and you're merely a human." Then something unbelievable happened. Charles let out a fart so stinky, I had to use my t-shirt as a mask. My eyes were burning as I raced to open every window in the house. "It smells like cheese, pastrami, and red wine," I cried. Charles chuckled. "I only drink whiskey, my boy, and I only eat spoiled meat." My stomach churned at the thought. I knew I had to get him out of my house, but how? "I hate to be rude," I lied, "but I think maybe you ought to leave." Charles shook his head. "I think you're wrong there, my boy. I like your house. I think I'll live here forever." "Oh, we'll see about that," I thought to myself. I was determined to find a way to get my house back from this mischief maker. I spent the next few days researching leprechauns, trying to find any weaknesses or tricks to make him leave. I tried everything from offering him gold to setting up elaborate traps, but nothing seemed to work. Charles was always one step ahead, and he seemed to be enjoying the challenge. One night, as I was about to give up, I remembered an old tale my grandmother used to tell me. She said that leprechauns couldn't resist a good riddle. So, I decided to give it a shot. "Charles," I said, "I have a riddle for you. If you can solve it, you can stay. But if you can't, you have to leave." Charles looked intrigued. "All right, let's hear it," he said. I took a deep breath and recited the riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Charles furrowed his brow deep in thought. Minutes passed, and I could see the frustration building on his face. Finally he sighed and said, "I give up. What is it?" I smiled and replied, "An echo." Charles groaned, realizing he had been outsmarted. True to his word, Charles packed up his things and left. As he walked out the door, he turned to me and said, "You're a clever one, my boy, but don't think this is the last you've seen of me." And with that he disappeared into the night. I couldn't believe it. I had actually managed to outwit a leprechaun. The house was finally mine again, and I made sure to air it out thoroughly. It took a while to get rid of the smell, but eventually things went back to normal. I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. Who would have thought that a leprechaun would move in on Halloween? And that, my friends, is the story of when a leprechaun moved in. What would you do if one did the same? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fun stories. Until next time, keep imagining. And remember, you never know what kind of magical creatures might be lurking around the corner, especially on Halloween night. Stay curious and keep your eyes open. You might just have an adventure of your own. So, until our next story, stay adventurous and always be ready for the unexpected. Who knows, maybe next time it'll be a fairy or a goblin knocking on your door. Thanks for listening, and I can't wait to share more magical tales with you. See you soon. What would you do if one did the same? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fun stories. Until next time, keep imagining.